All right. So the focus now is on the hospitality space. What exactly has happened in the last 2 years? There has been a massive re-rating of the entire hospitality space. Several of the hotel stocks have actually become multi-baggers, and the commentary coming in is pretty strong. But ICRA today has come out with a note saying that this year too the growth could be good, 14-15% easy. But the next year could be a case of a much broader base. However, the profitability is very strong. So we thought of analyzing and taking stock of this space with Chandar Balji, CMD of Royal Orchid Hotels, who's joining us now, along with Srikumar Krishnamurthy. He's of course a senior VP at ICRA. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Mr. Balji, first of all, I'd like to come to you. Happy birthday to you. Not only, you're welcome on the channel, but you're a regular contributor. I'm pretty surprised you're working even on your birthday. I thought you'd be having a good time with your friends and family, at least taking a day off today.
Already done that early morning, so it's time, and nothing like working on your own birthday.
Excellent. This is exactly what we keep discussing in our team too. Older generation entrepreneurs and industrialists and business leads, their commitment toward the work comes paramount. Everything else is actually secondary. So let's come back and talk about your space. There is one small section of the universe, the investing universe, who now believe that we may be in the middle of the hospitality cycle. It may not be a case of early cycle yet. And out of that, maybe best of the days in terms of growth may be behind us. Would you like to, allay some of those concerns of that section of the market? What is your own outlook at Royal Orchid? Do you see high growth continue for 2-3 years more, or do you see growth peter out or somber down, at least the growth rates?
No, I think I am very optimistic about the sector. See, the post-pandemic, there was a big boom, and people thought that it is a revenge travel, and that's why there's a blip. But then, it has continued. This year has continued to be better. And what I look see, one is that there are two sectors. One is leisure sector and one is business sector. Leisure sector, because people could not go out of the country, has grown exponentially in the last couple of years, and people have started exploring, our own country because of better air connectivity and better road connectivity, and the social media, which is driving a lot of people to, if somebody sees a friend going to a holiday and he puts it on Facebook, then you naturally want to go there. And then there are likes of, Make My Trip and all that, who are making it easy for making the bookings. So you just make a booking and then you take your car and you drive off, and connectivity has been really improved in our country, air connectivity also. So I think that has contributed to the boom in the leisure segment. And of course, if you see the business segment, it is fantastic because the Indian economy is doing better than most of the economies in the world. And a lot of things which, our Prime Minister Modi initiated, like Make in India, and now it's Wed in India, and then this religious tourism which is coming up. So I think, the whole interest, the G20 exposing our country to the whole world. So I think there's been a big marketing push by this government, to improve things in our country. So I think business, the way, for example, we are headquartered in Bangalore, and Bangalore, we have a large inventory in Bangalore, we have 9 hotels in Bangalore. And all these hotels are doing very well, very good occupancy, and the highest absorption of office space has been in Bangalore. I mean, every single big company wants to come to Bangalore to set up shop there. Recently, Boeing set up a huge facility here. So I think, which of course Prime Minister came and inaugurated. So I think, this state is, or particularly this city is booming, and we are fortunate to be here. So Your last question of looking at the next, outlook for the next couple of years. You see, no matter what you talk of ease of doing business, but at the ground level, whether getting municipal sanctions and all that have not changed at all. So I think if somebody wants to set up a hotel, market is booming today. If somebody wants to set up a hotel, he buys the land and it takes a minimum 3 years for the hotel to come to fruition. So it is very, very important to see that this 3 years, if all things go well, and the indications are that they will go well, the election will definitely bring back Modi, and the India story will continue to boom. So next 3 years are going to be very, very good for us.
Fair point. So the gist is that the next 3 years at least you don't see any issues on growth, at least from your own Royal Orchid Hotel point of view. But Srikumar, I was reading the note which ICRA had actually put out. Though you believe that the profitability or the financial health of the sector remains very strong, on aggregate the growth rate may peter out a bit. What are your own readings which indicate towards this?
Sure. So first of all, happy birthday to Mr. Balji sir, and thanks for having me. Yeah, the hotel sector in India has been on a very strong footing in the last 1.5 to 2 years, supported by favorable demand across segments. You call it leisure, MICE, your spiritual travel. All segments are actually supporting the growth. Obviously, the industry is on an upcycle currently. And with the healthy demand fundamentals for all these segments, we expect the industry to continue to do well in FY25 as well, growing in high single digits. But what we would like to highlight is a kind of a comparison that we would have to make with the current demand upcycle with the last long upcycle that was way back in 2004 to 2008. At that point of time, we observed that the industry-wide premium room segment was operating at 71 to 72% levels of occupancies for a good 3 straight years, and ARR also peaked to as high as 8,000 to 8,200. Subsequently, we all know that there was a slowdown due to financial crisis, and hotel sector in particular went into a slightly prolonged down cycle till FY15. This is primarily because of the large oversupply in the market, because of the significant room additions that had come in just prior to that. Between 2010 to 15, this specific period, we observed that the occupancy kind of levels and ARRs were sub 6,500. In the next phase of 2016 to 20, we saw a period of recovery in demand, and the incremental capacities were also kind of getting absorbed to a large extent, and ARRs obviously inched up to 65 to 68 levels, and ARR occupancies reached up to 65 to 68 levels, while ARRs were sub 7,000 odd levels. The expectation was that it would continue, but then we had a COVID, and we all know what happened. Hotels was one of the badly hit sector because of the mobility constraints, etc. Post-COVID, over the last 2 to 2.5 years, there has been a sharp bounce back, the comeback of travel and the resurgence in the business activities. We are currently seeing the pan-India hotel occupancy levels at the decadal highs of 70 to 72, in line with the peak that was seen in 2008. This coupled with the fact that there weren't much of supply additions in the last few years despite some announcements, this has allowed these hoteliers to take the ARRs up to over 7,200 to 7,400 average, which is still at a discount to the 2008 levels. Your question on 2025, we expect the occupancy levels to be maintained at a higher 70-72%. Obviously, this will be supported by the current supportive factors like your consumer sentiment, stable corporate earnings. We are seeing increasing trend of destination weddings and air traffic growth, etc. The only leg of growth which has not supported the growth story is the FTAs, the foreign tourist arrivals, which remains a kind of a drag compared to the pre-COVID levels. We do expect some lull in business demand during the period of elections, and also the fact that there has been an inflation in cost, etc. These all will possibly cut down the higher growth that we have seen in the last couple of years.
Right. Okay, that's the view coming in from your side as well. Still at a discount compared to the peak is what you're highlighting for, at least in terms of the revenue power as well for these hotels as well. Mr. Palji, Firstly, good afternoon and a very happy birthday to you. And what I want to talk about is also in terms of the margins. How much room is there for you in terms of margins for the expansion there? Pricing also as a strategy. What do you see on that front as well? Room for pricing growth as well as in terms of increasing your prices as well as in terms of margins.
See, what has happened is that people have got used to paying a little higher price now. Earlier, we used to always, when we traveled abroad, we don't mind paying $500 for a room. But the same room in our own country, we will be reluctant to pay $200 and say, oh my God, these guys are looting the public. They're charging 15,000, 16,000. So now that is history. Because people have realized that in fact, Indian hotels are much better in terms of service, in terms of quality, in terms of ambience. So you compare likes with likes. Like you compare a holiday in Bangkok with a Leela in India. That's an unfair comparison, and that's what people have been used to it. And so I think things have improved. People are ready to pay money. People are paying. I'm going to Kashmir next month, and the rates are around 50,000 rupees per room. But then for a few days, one thinks a big deal. If you go to maybe Switzerland, you'll be paying a lakh of rupees a room. So I think Indians have got used to it, and pandemic has helped people rediscovering our own country. And I think there are lots to see in our country. So I think outlook is very good. In fact, this apprehension about foreign tourists not coming in and not picking up is not going to affect our industry at all, because foreign tourists, particularly in mid-segment like ours, do not matter at all. In fact, in our like a Goa hotel, we never encourage foreign tourists to come because they are lower paying. Indians are better paying, and you'll have charters coming in, which will be very, very low paying charter, and very low strata of the people are coming in. They won't have any spending power also. So I don't think their leisure segment, there's that much of a worry about it. Yes, lot of business is lost because of people doing online, business there, because a lot of meetings are taking place online rather than people visiting. So that will, but doesn't matter. It will be filled up by our Indian, and then foreigners will be forced to come to India. With the way India's story is going, they have no choice.
Absolutely.
They will be forced to come.
Absolutely. There's so much culture here as well, right, to bring it in as well. So there is no doubt that there will be foreign tourists that will be coming as well.
Apple and Tesla, how much Nakra they were doing to come to India, and today they are coming. So I think people will be forced to come to India. So we don't have to worry about people not coming here.
Right. In the words of late Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he used to always say that if the bride is beautiful, suitors will come. And right now, India is the most beautiful, in terms of the superior economy, stability of, democracy, everything else. So obviously, big money bags will come here. Thank you very much, gentlemen, to chat with us today. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Absolutely. That's one